Here are 8 quick tips and tricks that you can use for Ironeye in Elden Ring Nightreign. Firstly, it's very good to use your ability and then follow up with a bow shot on any enemies that have a low health pool, as this is going to be a much faster way of taking them out than just shooting them regularly with your bow. Your ultimate gives you invincibility or iframes, so it is a very good idea to use this when you just don't want to get hit. Let's say an enemy is doing a full combo or a full flurry of attacks. Just pop out your ulti and hold it down so that the invincibility window lasts longer, and you also get to do a ton of damage. Furthermore, your ultimate is very good at crowd control, so it's going to be a pretty good idea to line up a few enemies and then use the ultimate so that you hit multiple enemies at once instead of just one. Similarly, your character ability also grants you iframes. However, this is much more of a mobile skill, and it actually allows you to kind of teleport from one side of an enemy to the other side of an enemy, which is very useful for quickly changing up your position. While still on the topic of Ironeye's character ability, this is going to be almost always better to use than a dodge if you have it available to you. This is because dodging does not do damage, so you have to dodge and then start shooting your bow again to do damage. But with your character ability, you're reapplying your weak point, which we'll get to in a second. You are dodging, which is giving yourself invincibility frames, and you are also doing damage, because activating the ability itself does do damage. So it's generally going to be a good idea to use this as a dodge if you have it available, because dodging doesn't do damage, but your character ability does. This is especially true if you have the relic that gives you +1 additional character ability. This is extremely useful on Ironeye. When your character ability, weak point, is about to wear off of an enemy, it will start flashing white. This is going to be a very good time to try and reapply the weak point on the enemy. You want to reapply the weak point because all of the damage that you've done to the initial weak point thus far, let's say 90%, will still be there when you apply the second weak point, meaning I still only need to get 10% of the damage done to it to break the weak point. This is going to be much more useful when facing against opponents with larger health pools like bosses. Ironeye has some unique weapon movesets with bows. He has a heavy attack which fires 3 arrows with a little bit of dispersion between them, so this is going to be better used when you are either up close to an enemy or the enemy is rather large, so all 3 arrows are going to hit. You also have a feint attack, which you do by holding down the heavy attack and then pressing the backstep button, which is actually pretty useful in certain situations. Manually aiming with the bow is actually very useful. Not only do headshots do extra damage, but they also cause a lot of different types of enemies to stagger. Furthermore, when attacking normally with a bow, like if you're just locked on to enemies, you have a certain combination to your attacks. Meaning attacks 1 and 2 will be fast, attack 3 will be a little bit slower, and then attack 4 will be the slowest and kind of be the chain attack finisher is what it's called. But when you are attacking manually, you always attack evenly. There is no chain or combination to the attacks, so as long as you have stamina, you can just keep shooting, which in certain situations is actually pretty handy. When facing an enemy that is using a shield or an enemy whose stance you want to break, don't forget about your default Ash of War on your default weapon, Mighty Shot. It is very useful in these situations. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be it for this video. If I left anything out, then let me know in the comments down below, and also let me know if you would like to see another one of these videos on a different character. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell.